They told you to be kind, to always help, to always give. But what they never told you is that unchecked kindness can destroy you. The more kind you are, the more the world starts to expect it. Not appreciate it, expect it. Your time, your energy, your attention, it becomes a free resource for everyone but you. People stop asking if you're okay because they assume you're always fine. You become the emotional dumping ground, the backup plan, the silent warrior who's never allowed to break down. You say yes out of guilt, not desire. You give second chances to people who don't even deserve a first. And while you're busy fixing others, your own soul starts to fall apart. You become afraid to speak up, scared to lose people who never truly cared in the first place. Kindness without limits becomes a prison. And one day you wake up, realizing you've built a life around pleasing others and completely abandoned yourself. So if you're kind, be kind, but never at the cost of your peace, your worth, or your identity. Asterisk, and the worst part, no one will thank you for it. They'll forget your sacrifices, your sleepless nights, the way you put their needs before your own. Because to them, it's just who you are, the kind one, the always there person. But behind that smile is exhaustion, quiet resentment, an identity slowly fading into the background. You'll start to notice that when you need someone, no one shows up. Your kindness never built real connections, just built convenience for others, and yet you'll blame yourself, thinking maybe you didn't give enough, love enough, serve enough. But the truth is, you gave too much to the wrong people for too long. Kindness, when not protected by boundaries, is self-betrayal in disguise. So choose your kindness wisely. Give it where it grows, not where it's used. Asterisk, and slowly, you start to change. Not because you want to, but because you have to. The world forces you to harden your heart just to survive. You become more silent, more distant, not out of arrogance, but out of protection. You realize that not everyone deserves access to your softness, that not every hand you reach out to will hold you back. Some will just pull you deeper into their chaos. You begin to understand that your empathy is powerful, but only when it's not weaponized against you. And in that moment, you finally stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking, "Why did I let it go on for so long?" That's the day your healing begins. Because healing doesn't always look like forgiveness or more kindness. Sometimes healing looks like distance, like silence, like saying no without explanation, like finally choosing yourself, not because you stopped caring, but because you started to matter too. Asterisk, and then something shifts. You stop over-explaining, you stop chasing, you stop breaking your own heart just to keep others comfortable. For the first time, you sit with your own silence and it doesn't scare you anymore. You realize that solitude isn't loneliness, it's clarity. You start rebuilding your boundaries, brick by brick, with lessons you paid for in pain. You forgive yourself for all the times you overgave, for all the love you wasted on people who only knew how to take. And slowly, you become the version of yourself that no longer needs validation, that no longer tolerates half love or fake friendships. You still have a kind heart, but now it's guarded by wisdom. You still give, but only to those who respect the gift. And in protecting your kindness, you find your strength. Not the kind that bends for others, but the kind that finally stands tall for you. Asterisk, people start to notice, but not in the way you expected. They say you've changed, that you're colder now, less available, But what they don't understand is you didn't change. You just woke up. You finally saw the cost of being endlessly kind in a world that keeps taking. You no longer respond to guilt trips. You stop entertaining people who only come around when they need something. You learn that peace is louder than applause, that self-respect is more valuable than being liked. The old version of you would have done anything to avoid disappointing others, but the new you've made peace with being misunderstood, because being misunderstood is better than being mistreated. You've traded burnout for balance, approval for authenticity, noise for stillness, and now you finally feel free, not because others changed, but because you did. Asterisk, now you walk differently, not with arrogance, but with quiet confidence. You no longer over-explain because your peace doesn't need permission. You no longer feel guilty for putting yourself first because you've learned that self-care isn't selfish, it's survival. The people who once drained you, they faded when the access ended, and you let them go, not out of hate, but out of healing. Because now you understand, not everyone is meant to walk with you. Some were only lessons, some were mirrors, some were warnings. And in this new version of your life, you finally attract people who match your energy, who don't just take your kindness, but reflect it, who love without keeping score, who show up without being asked. You no longer live in reaction, you live with intention. And for the first time, your kindness is no longer a burden. It's your strength, protected, balanced, respected. To the old me, I see you. I know how tired you work, constantly smiling, constantly giving, constantly hoping someone would notice your quiet pain. You thought kindness was your only value. You thought love had to be earned with sacrifice. You let people walk all over you, thinking that made you good. But now, I forgive you. You were only trying to be enough in a world that kept telling you you weren't. But I want you to know, we made it. You don't have to beg to be loved anymore. You don't have to overgive to feel worthy. You don't have to break just to be seen. The battles you faced in silence became the strength I now carry. You did your best with what you knew, and I'm proud of you, but it's my turn now. And this time, I choose me.